All right, folks, gather around. Let's talk about Klay Thompson, the sharpshooting guard from the Golden State Warriors. This bloke can drain threes like nobody's business. He's like a human catapult, launching basketballs into the net with pinpoint accuracy. And guess what? The Dallas Mavericks have their eyes on him. Now, the Mavericks already have a superstar in Luka Doncic, a Slovenian magician on the court. Imagine Luka dishing out assists to Klay for those signature catch-and-shoot threes. It'd be a sight to behold, like watching Adele belt out a high note while riding a roller coaster. But there's a slight problem, a bit of a snag if you will. The Mavericks need to free up some serious cash to afford Klay's services. It's like trying to fit a double-decker bus into a phone booth. It's going to take some creative maneuvering. So buckle up, buttercups, as we explore how the Dallas Mavericks can pull off this blockbuster signing and bring Klay Thompson to the Lone Star State. This is going to be a wild ride. Let's be honest, signing a player like Klay Thompson doesn't come cheap. It's like trying to buy Buckingham Palace with loose change you found in your sofa. The Mavericks have a bit of a salary cap situation on their hands. Financial expert. See, in the NBA, there's this thing called the salary cap, which is basically a limit on how much money teams can spend on their players. Think of it as a financial diet for NBA teams, but instead of counting calories, they're counting dollars. And right now, the Mavericks are on a tight budget. They've got a lot of money tied up in other players, which leaves them with little wiggle room to sign a big-name free agent like Klay. It's like trying to order a 5-course meal at a fancy restaurant when you've only got a tenner in your pocket. But fear not, Mavericks fans. There are ways to clear some space under the cap, and we're going to explore them right after a quick break. Don't go anywhere. To make room for Klay, the Mavericks need to get creative. They'll have to do some wheeling and dealing, some financial gymnastics worthy of an Olympic gold medal. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded while riding a unicycle. Sports analyst. One option is to trade away some players with hefty contracts. You know, those guys who get paid a king's ransom but haven't quite lived up to the hype. It's like swapping your old clunky car for a sleek, shiny sports car. Another option is to convince some players to take pay cuts. This is a bit trickier, like asking your mate to lend you 50 quid when you know they're saving up for a new telly. But hey, stranger things have happened. The Mavericks could also try their luck with sign and trades, where they sign a player and then immediately trade them to another team. It's a bit like musical chairs in the NBA, with players switching teams faster than you can say Stephen Curry. Whatever route they choose, the Mavericks have their work cut out for them. But if they can pull it off, Klay Thompson could be wearing a Mavericks jersey next season. Now, wouldn't that be something? Klay in Dallas, a match made in basketball heaven. Imagine Klay Thompson, the Splash Brother himself, sharing the court with Luka Doncic, the Slovenian sensation. It'd be like pairing fish and chips, a match made in culinary heaven. Klay's deadly three-point shooting would open up the floor for Luka's drives to the basket. Defenders would be torn between guarding Luka in the paint and chasing Klay around the perimeter. It'd be a nightmare for opposing teams, like trying to herd cats on a trampoline. And let's not forget about Klay's defensive prowess. He's a lockdown defender, capable of shutting down the opposing team's best player. He's like a human wall, impenetrable and relentless. With Klay on board, the Mavericks would instantly become contenders for the NBA championship. They'd be a force to be reckoned with, a team capable of beating anyone on any given night. It'd be like watching England win the World Cup, a sight for sore eyes. A Brit's take on the NBA. This is more exciting than a cuppa. You know, as a Brit, I have to admit that I'm more accustomed to watching football, or soccer, as you Yanks call it. But the NBA has really grown on me. It's fast-paced, unpredictable, and full of drama. It's like watching an episode of EastEnders, but with more slam dunks and fewer pints of lager. And the prospect of Klay Thompson joining the Dallas Mavericks, well, that's just jolly exciting. It's like finding a 20-quid note in your pocket, or realizing it's Friday and the pub's calling your name. I'm eagerly awaiting the start of the season to see how this all plays out. If Klay does end up in Dallas, I might even have to break out my best cowboy hat and boots to celebrate. Yeehaw. Championship dreams. Can Klay bring the Larry O'Brien to Dallas? The thought of Klay Thompson joining forces with Luka Doncic is enough to make any Mavericks fan giddy with excitement. It's a tantalizing prospect, a dream scenario that could propel the Mavericks to championship glory. Imagine the celebrations if they win it all. The streets of Dallas would be flooded with jubilant fans, the air thick with the smell of barbecue and victory. It'd be like a scene out of a movie, a testament to the power of teamwork and determination. Of course, there's a long road ahead, filled with challenges and obstacles. But with Klay Thompson on their side, the Dallas Mavericks would have as good a chance as any to hoist the Larry O'Brien Championship trophy. And who knows, maybe they'll even let me hold it for a photo op. A Brit can dream, can't he?